I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. And we're back for another installment of Heavy Muscle Radio. It is January 21st, 24, and I am here with the technician, Chris Aceto, on this beautiful night. It's actually a little chilly here in Cape Coral.
It's so funny. I was just going to ask you about the temperature down there.
Yeah, it's a little cold.
It was like 20 today in Atlanta. Mother-in-law said
it was 65 here, but I think it was 45 last night though.
Your whiny little governor dropped out of the.
I saw DeSantis is done. It was, you know what? He never should have run. He should have just waited for Trump to, do his next 4 years, and that's it.
His ego couldn't let him.
No, I think it was the people that surrounded him that were doing it. To be honest.
Yeah, well, you know what happened is he got some people with money around him, donors, and they encouraged him to run. And he barely won the governorship against a coke addict.
Yeah, I thought he destroyed the election for governor, the last one at least.
No, he won by what, like 3 points against the guy who ended up passed out in a hotel room with like a gay.
I don't think so. I think he won pretty.
3 points. 3 points. I mean, that means millions and millions and millions of people voted against him.
Well, yeah. Well, Florida's always very closely contested. So that's nothing new. But it probably wasn't for Trump, who campaigned for him. He probably wouldn't have won.
Well, that's what Trump says. That's why he calls him Ron Meatball. Which is an Italian slur, but I don't take it personally.
No, I don't. I think DeSantis will be back probably for the next election, but who knows?
Trump said, he made an announcement tonight. He said he's going to run again, and because he was cheated out of the last one, he's not going to leave after he wins.
You never know. He might try to change the Constitution.
And Biden has announced that even though he
doesn't remember that he already has one.
No,
term.
You're right. So Biden was told that due to the 1986 Steroid Control Act that got rid of testosterone.
1990, yeah.
1990. That was a Biden special.
He forgot that he did that legislation.
Yeah. So when they he wanted to get a TRT, or rather not TRT, hormone replacement therapy, HRT. And Milo says he needs 1,000 mgs a week because he's so old. But his doctor said 150 mgs a week. And they wouldn't give it to him because he was partially responsible for getting rid of the test.
That's right. So they said,
Steris, Dave, if you remember, Steris was the big.
That's right. As like, you remember the soup Nazi in Seinfeld? No soup for you. He's like, no testosterone for you. None.
Yeah. He wanted to take it as a patch or a gel. He couldn't stand it. He didn't want to take the jab.
Yeah, so they want to know who you're going to vote for. They said Chris will probably vote for the zombie anyway.
I am going to vote for RFK Jr.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think we actually have an option.
Very safe. He'll be on all the ballots.
A lot of people might rationalize that the same way. They're both terrible, and we want to vote for someone else, and we actually have a third candidate. We'll vote for RFK. He could win the presidency like that.
Well, you tell me, Dave, who has better ideas?
I would love to see Trump and Kennedy together. Because I don't know if Kennedy would want to be his vice president, but I think that would be a great thing.
That's a nice way of skirting the question. Who has better ideas?
Well, I think that Kennedy has better ideas, but I think that Trump probably has a better chance of enacting them and actually, doing something with it.
All Trump has to really run is on. All he needs to do is go back to the border wall, because that's still the number one issue. And he was, the crazy part is he was right at 8 years ago.
Yeah, but both of those guys want shut down the immigration.
Who?
Both Kennedy and Trump.
Yeah, I know. Only Biden is the one who wants to have.
I'm getting. I know it sounds like it's almost a joke, but I'm getting another surgery on February 7th.
Mark your calendars. What?
I had. You know what? From the chest, the heart surgery I had, the aorta repair. They put these chest tubes in you, and they go through your abdominal wall. And I guess when they pull them out, they usually just heal up. And for some reason, I think we lost Chris. He went dark. he went to the dark web. I don't know if you can hear me.
We have an emergency. That's my emergency line, also known as my property line. I got to rejoin you. We could have frozen pipes. Hold on.
All right, I'll tell my story. So they have these chest tubes that go. Oh, look, I'm shrinking. They have these chest tubes that go right in through your abs. And what happens is they pull them out after a couple of days, and they don't suture them closed. They just supposedly close on their own. Obviously, sometimes they don't. So I have like a little round like hernia in my abdominal wall, and I didn't even care about it because I've been through so much. I'm like, who cares? At this point, I'm not competing, but it's been getting bigger. So now I'm like, oh yeah. So I went to the guy who does the hernia repairs, and I showed him. He's like, if it's getting bigger, we should fix it. He said because it's going to once it gets too big, then it's a pain in the ass to fix it. So I'm going in more. It's supposed to be 20-minute surgery, so hopefully. It won't be too bad, but who the hell wants to go another surgery again? It's almost like a joke at this point, my surgeries I get. So hopefully this won't be too bad. It'll probably be the most painful one I get, knowing my luck. But that's what's going on. But what I really wanted to talk about is about McDonald's. But I need Chris here because I have to. Maybe Xavier, you around? You want me to send you the link? I need to tell someone about McDonald's. I'll send you the link. All right, let's see if we can get Xavier to save the day. Oh, there's Chris. Oh, never mind. All right.
If somebody's calling me, David,
I almost tried to replace you there with Xavier.
Xavier, gosh, dude, he would love to come on. Bring him on anyway.
We should bring him on anyway. Yeah, let's bring him on anyway. I don't know if he might not be able to do it, but I'll send him the link.
Bring him on. What time is it in Australia?
It's probably like 8 o'clock at night or something like that. Yeah, who knows? Okay, so McDonald's made a big announcement. Did you see this? Well, first of all, Chris was giving me some. I didn't even know this about McDonald's, but you brought up a good point. For some reason, McDonald's has like the best Diet Coke, right?
The best.
And they have very good coffee too, actually.
Dave, I always think when I get a Diet Coke from McDonald's, it's bizarre because it's an insane word, but it tastes fresh.
They have good drinks there. I don't know. Now, what's the reason? You said you had the reason. You were going to tell me on the show.
They ship them. Supposedly, they ship them the syrup pre-chilled, which is more expensive.
Oh, really? What does that do? Preserve it better?
I don't know. And they ship it in a aluminum like container as opposed to, I don't know how they ship it to other restaurants, like,
maybe in plastic or something like that.
7-Eleven or whatever. But that has an effect. And McDonald's also claims they pre-chill the water when they mix it with the syrup.
And that does something?
I don't know. We both agree that they have great Diet Cokes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
they have, like I said, I don't know if you guys have ever had their coffee. Like if I go there, I'll have
coffee's very, very good.
It's really good. It's like, like to the point where
I like hot coffee, Dave.
Oh, I bought the Keurig McDonald's coffees. They were so good after I tried it. All right, let me pull up this thing. So McDonald's is making some major. Actually, all the fast food restaurants are upgrading their stuff. So
McDonald's is also coming out, Dave, with they're coming out with like a coffee drive-through, like coffee only.
Oh yeah.
Supposedly to compete with Starbucks.
Oh, I don't look. McDonald's. I'll tell you one thing. Everything there tastes good. Whether it's healthy for you or not is another story. But
it's so funny, Dave. You know what? I'm dead serious. What? I was bringing up. It's. I had to leave because I thought we might have frozen pipes because someone was calling me from the property. Right. So I'm burning a lot of wood in the fireplace the last couple of days. The fireplace and the wood stove.
Okay.
And somehow in the back of the firewood pit was a bag, a McDonald's bag. So I said, I'll just burn it in the wood stove. wait, I opened it up. It had to be back there like 2 years. The French fries.
They look exactly the same, right? They're like petrified.
The bigger question is, if the Diet Coke tastes so good, how do the French fries resist any type of decay? They look exactly.
I know, it's like they're mummified or something like that. They must
Dave,
put in
I will tell you how old the French fries are. I'm dead serious. They have to be 5 years old, and I know that because
5 years.
the wood in my wood pile, like it gets every spring it gets down really low.
Yeah.
I burn through all of it, and I just restack it all the way up. And every year for like the last 5 years, I've never burnt it all the way through.
Yeah.
And this year we're like down to the bottom. So
how does it burn?
Oh my gosh! You put a match.
The French fries I'm talking about. The French fries I'm talking about.
Oh, the French fries. I think they're fire retardant. They're like covered in asbestos.
Hold on. I sent Xavier the wrong link. I sent him a link to my snake videos. Hold on. All right, hold on a second. I promised him, so I got to send him the link. All right, so I'm going to tell you what they're upgrading at McDonald's here. And this is, it's relevant to all our viewership because McDonald's are all over the world. So it's not like just an American thing.
Yeah, and it's a great cheat meal. It's a Dave Palumbo special.
Yeah. So they're upgrading their burgers. We're going to they're going to be serving softer, pillowy buns, adding white onions to the beef patties for juicier caramelized flavor, and ensuring that the cheese is perfectly melted, Chris.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's not melted on the top.
Yeah, doesn't really.
Kind of like it's like I always thought it was because like the French fries weren't quite real food, so I thought the cheese wouldn't quite melt because it wasn't. Now
here's some
also
quality control. There's some quality control stuff here too that I think it's worth mentioning. They're making over 50 changes to the burgers. Now, sometimes when you make too many changes, Chris, it ruins it. So
yeah, people don't like it.
Yeah. One of these is the cooking of the beef patties in smaller batches for a more uniform sear. So I guess people were complaining that all the burgers were not being cooked as equally with the same sear to it. Customers could also expect their Big Macs to have more special sauce, which I don't like, fresher and meaty and meltier lettuce and cheese and pickles, as well as a brioche bun. Did I pronounce that right? Brioche?
I don't know.
Brioche bun. All right.
I think they have that pretzel bun right now.
I don't think so. That's not McDonald's.
Maybe that's Wendy's.
Oh, now Burger King is getting a makeover. The inside of there, they're going to look more like McDonald's now, pretty much. With all the the little kiosks they have in there, you can order from. By the way, I know that you're a big Taco Bell fan, so they're having much more vegetarian options.
Where did you get the idea that I go to Taco Bell?
No, I'm kidding around. You probably never. You're like me. I don't ever go.
Never.
I went to Taco Bell for the first time. I have to be honest with you, for the first time since I was like 8 years old, when I visited my sister, because next to the hotel was a Taco Bell. So I got desperate at some point, and I got some chicken quesadillas there. But I mean, Taco Bell is known for their meat and stuff like that. So what would be the purpose of having vegetarian options at Taco Bell? I mean, the people who go to Taco Bell are usually people who are smoking weed and are stoned out of their mind, and they want to get,
a lot of food
tacos, there.
Yeah.
So they have a veggie build your own cravings box for $5.99. They're going to be serving a black bean crunch wrap supreme or chicken quesadilla. And one classic item such as the bean burrito or spicy potato soft tacos. They probably taste great, but who the heck wants to eat that at Taco? If I'm going to Taco Bell, I'm not trying to eat healthy,
Dave, did you know McDonald's in Maine in the summertime sells lobster rolls?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I wonder if they're going to try to improve that.
I don't know. That's a locality thing. It's not all over. By the way, Starbucks is going to be is announced that it will be allowing customers to bring their own clean personal cups to company-operated stores and participating licensed stores nationwide. This ordering feature is included in drive-thrus. So I guess you bring your own cup and they fill it up. Is that what they're doing?
I don't know. Sounds like it.
someone will get some kind of disease from.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Just gonna say what's gonna happen is
Someone will sue someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, hold on. Oh, there's Xavier. What's up, Xavier?
What's up, Dave? What's up, Chris?
Hey, I'm just updating everyone on the latest fast food trends coming up. Did you know Wendy's drive-thru is going to be AI powered now, Chris?
Oh, so what's that mean?
That's artificial intelligence.
I know what AI means, but how?
I was just making sure. Fast food chains have been deploying artificial intelligence to streamline their restaurant operations. Now Wendy's is expanding its own AI through the drive-thru as part of its ongoing partnership with Google Cloud. The fast food chain has been testing an AI chat box designed to take orders called Wendy's Fresh AI as a drive-thru. In Columbus, Ohio, they're launching it right by the Arnold. Maybe I can go and try it out when I go there.
You know, not only are they, I heard that launching the Wendy's AI, but they're gonna Richard Simmons is gonna bring back the dealer meal.
Well, I haven't got to Richard Simmons yet. We're gonna get
you're gonna be able to swap out a Big Mac or like the Wendy's chicken McNuggets, chicken nuggets.
All right, hold on.
They're slowly bringing a lot of the American chains here, like the Taco Bell and things like that.
Oh, you guys don't have Taco Bell yet?
Taco Bell.
We recently got. I remember when I was living in Perth, they brought one. We had one or two there, and it's like everyone goes there straight away, and then it just dies off.
But you know, I told you, I know, because I know these guys when I was in high school. The stoners, people who get stoned, like to go to Taco Bell like at midnight and eat, like stuff their face because it's cheap.
But nobody smokes pot, right, Xavier, in Australia?
No one. Well, actually, there's a lot of people getting scripts here now because they've made it so you can, if you've got...
you can get medical marijuana? Gotcha.
You can, yeah. They're making it progressively easier.
Why do they make medical marijuana? They don't make medical,
testosterone. Oh, they do. It's hard to get. That's all. Medical marijuana, you could go buy a card for $20 on the street corner. Testosterone, you have to jump through hoops, you're trying to
medical Xanax. So they get medical.
All right. According to Wendy's, this AI technology understands casual conversation and can handle menu customizations and configurations. Can you imagine? You know how some of these people talk, Chris. There's no way it would understand. You imagine Nathan Diasha ordering Wendy's?
I don't know. I don't know if they'd be able
pick up
to get
his
behavior in Australia with the Taco Bell with the AI. They might not be able to customize it to the accent.
Oh, mate, I'll get a McChicken.
Yeah. People will be making up their own sandwiches. Hold on. McDonald's is going to have shorter wait times at McDonald's, according to them. In December, McDonald's shared that it will expand its U.S. pilot of ready on arrival technology across its top 6 markets in 2025.
Let me guess. You can Google it, Dave, because I'm not cheating. What's Google? Is McDonald's stock 258? Let me guess. 258. I'll guess.
I don't know. Let's see if you're right.
MCD is the.
Well, check it. You check it. I'm reading.
I don't want to be considered the cheater. Let me guess.
As a result of delivering hotter, fresher food to our customers, we've seen significantly higher customer satisfaction. So,
McDonald's stock.
I'll tell you, when I go to McDonald's, I don't know how you guys order at McDonald's, but I pull into one of the spots, and I get on the app and I order what I want, and you put the spot number in, and they bring the food right out to you. I don't even leave the car. I will not wait on that stupid drive-through line. I will not go through the drive-through. I can't take it. So you just park in the little curbside spot, and you do your order. You put the number of the parking spot you're in, and they bring it out to you. That's the best way. What?
McDonald's stock, I was off by $50. It's 300.
Wow.
What year were you second at the USA?
03.
03?
Yeah. Is there some kind of correlation to my place?
No, because wait a minute, Dave. In 03, the stock was $20, and now it's 300.
You're saying I blew it. I should have bought McDonald's. You know what?
No,
I've been praising McDonald's.
You probably spent $10,000 in McDonald's, maybe $20,000 in your.
More.
So $20,000. It's 10
I've been praising McDonald's for 45 years, and you know what? You're right. Why didn't I ever buy stock in McDonald's? I would be rich right now.
$20 in 2003. Now it's 300.
Yeah, I blew
Chris,
it.
Chris, have you seen the McDonald's movie? I think it's called Founder.
No, what am I missing?
I feel like you'd really like it. Basically, like the guy that started it. Well, the guys that started it was like two brothers, and then a guy basically came. Yeah,
I saw that. I saw the movie.
Yeah, great. And he comes in, and basically it's about how it's almost like a property business, not so much even.
They were. It's a real estate business.
It's a genius.
Yeah,
it's a genius. Actually, you're right.
Very cool movie. I felt like you would have liked it.
The Oakland A's. And Dave, who was the bat boy for the Oakland A's?
Who?
MC Hammer.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
He was the bat boy for the Oakland A's.
I wonder how he got that job. He must have known someone, right?
I can't remember.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up. Chris and I were discussing before the show. There's a Richard Simmons movie coming out. Do you know who Richard Simmons is, Xavier?
I do. A very flamboyant character.
Pauly Shore is playing him. Now, I guess when the movie was first launched, it's like an unauthorized biography of Richard Simmons. So Richard Simmons was all pissed off. You would think that Richard Simmons would be thrilled that someone would want to even do anything about his life. You know what I mean? Much less, he's getting upset. Now, all of a sudden, he's on board with the whole.
No,
thing.
I don't know if he's on board. I think the guy just said he's on board.
Well, he did say he was on board. So says. This is not the article, but there's a new article on TMZ that says that Richard Simmons is now he's happy about it. So
I did a seminar, not Milos, with Richard Simmons.
You did?
Yeah, I did in St. Louis in 2000 either 2000 or 2001. Right. Me, Corey Everson, and Richard Simmons.
Oh my God! What a crew!
Yeah, and. You
had way more of a chance of scoring with Corey Everson than Richard Simmons. That's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you this. Richard Simmons, Dave, it was. You know what? Corey
Richard
was
Simmons
way
had game. Did he cock block you?
No, Corey was way smarter than me because it was like kind of like busy at the expo and this and that, and this was going on and that was going on, and then all these very overweight people started to arrive.
Oh no, the sweating to the oldies. Huh?
Yes, and I had no idea. What is the place is getting crazy packed? And she said, I didn't know. She said Richard's going to be here soon. I'm like, Rich, I had no idea.
Oh, you didn't even know he was coming?
I thought she was putting me on. She said Richard Simmons.
When you said you did a seminar with him, I thought it was like you three on stage. Yeah, I'm like, how does that even work? It
was me, then Corey, and then the crowd. And there was a lot of people there, but not really. Corey had way bigger crowd, obviously than I had. And then it started getting crazy. The place started filling up like really quick, and the clientele changed. And people had headbands on, and they had.
Did Richard Simmons give you a back massage?
No, he came up, Dave. He came on stage, and he was in his full character, and he.
Right.
Oh God.
He was flipping around the stage. Did you go to get a steak with him after?
No, we didn't get a steak with him, but Corey showed her sense of humor. She was pretty funny, actually.
She probably was sweet as could be to him, and he probably loved her because
yeah. She took a picture. I didn't take a picture with him. She did.
Yeah.
I should have. So I got to put on my Instagram.
He probably would have rather take a picture with you.
There was no Instagram back then. No, you know what? No iPhones, Dave. So that's the reason why.
So you didn't get like Richard didn't want to do like
no.
Richard didn't want to do like a posing session for you, like a gay for pay, with you after. No.
That was another publisher. Who was in the running, by the way, to play Richard Simmons. Won't say who it was.
So what's going on over there in Australia, Xavier? Any gossip?
Gossip, I mean, in terms of bodybuilding, not so much.
Just in terms of your life. I don't know. What's going on in Australia? I can never get a straight answer out of Lee because Lee doesn't really, know what's going on over there. But
you know a lot's probably going on in my life right now. But
oh, you're still dealing with that? Okay.
Oh yeah. Which all to be revealed in the future. But just living normal life here. It's been pretty warm, but it's sort of cooled down a little bit lately. But we've had like like crazy floods like over the last few years. It's like, I don't know if Lee's talked about it too much, but up like where he is probably a year or a bit over a year ago, and people were just having crazy floods, and we had one up north recently and stuff. But it's, I mean, you know, it's
maybe it'll wash away all the cane toads that you guys have over there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of my friends actually, Aaron Polides, who competed in the 2019 Mr. Olympia and placed ninth. He's looking dramatically improved, and he's making his comeback at the New York Pro. So I think he's going to be up against Karif Bajo. So that'll be really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing him come back, because, you know those competitors like Aaron. Like, I love Aaron, but he's one of those guys that once he starts dieting, he's ADD normally, but his ADD goes up here when he starts prepping. So he'll just, you know, if there's a game of like, you know, we have Australian rules football out here, especially if he's prepping and the results aren't going like we go for the same team, if it's not going our way, it'll be like ding, 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 and he's just swearing, going nuts. So. But I love him. He's really cool, and he's a good personality. So I think if he starts doing better, he'll be a real popular name in the industry. So, but I think he'll be up there in the top 5 this year. So it'll be a cool battle at the New York.
Cool. What do you guys think about Jay Cutler going on Shark Tank? Did you hear about that?
I just recorded a video on that. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Yeah. What did you record about it? Because I don't think it hasn't aired yet, right?
The 26th.
It's on the 26th. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's in 5 days. So Jay, you know, we had, I remember when Jay first came out with that peanut butter for the dogs, we had given him a little plug for that because I thought it was a good idea. And
yeah, Dave, you said it was a great idea.
Yeah. I have to imagine he's going on Shark Tank just to get the publicity for the brand, right? I mean, I don't think he needs money for it. So I can't imagine Jay needing anyone's funding him. But
I said, you know, rhetorically or fictitiously
yeah.
on this show, probably in the last 5 months, I've said it more than once. I said, "Oh, Dave, you know, the Mark Cuban's leaving Shark Tank, and you know, Jay's going to be taking over."
Yeah, you said it as a joke. You're right. Maybe this was his audition, Chris.
Yeah, he'd be a good shark.
He'd be a better shark than a contestant, because I can't. Jay's not like the kind of guy I think of going asking other people for money.
Yeah.
I see it the other way around, like people coming to Jay asking him.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
and making the decision, right?
This is a weird role for him. I wonder if he felt awkward. You talked to him about this, right?
Yeah, well, he just told me he was going to be on the 26th.
Oh, I know they can't talk about it because they sign a non-disclosure.
I had to say he disclosed to me, and I had to I signed a confidentiality or whatever. I'm kidding, Dave. No, he just told me he's going on the 26th.
Lee wants to know if they gave him a deal. Well, you got to watch the show, Lee, to find out. That's the whole thing behind it. You can't tell you.
Who else has been on Shark Tank? You've had Kukla was on, right?
Kukla was on. He got a deal, and then Stan was on too. Remember Stan?
Yeah, but they get deals. But you know what happens, Dave, is a lot of people get deals, and then once they suss them out, they don't get the deal at the end. In other words, you know, they agreed to the deal,
right?
But, you know, the lawyers don't at the end, right? You know, you find out like
I think
Xavier said he had 300 million followers on desktop bodybuilding. And we were gonna,
right. Million views a day. Sam Sulik.
Exactly.
But then at the end, it was just Lee Priest and Aaron Polites watching it, and Steve.
Yeah, actually, they were right. That's when Steve was married to Amanda Latona. That's when they were on together for her clothing line there, and they got some funding. But I don't know. I think they did it right from what Steve told me about it. But that was a long time ago, so I don't remember, you know, how much that continued. You know,
Lisa, has Mike O'Hearn ever been on there?
What?
Has Mike O'Hearn ever been on there? I
don't think so. Not that I know of.
I feel like he'd be good on there with some sort of business idea.
Yeah, I have a problem going on there. I don't know. I don't like asking other people for money, like, you know, but I guess if I was very passionate about something that I had built and I didn't have the funding for it and I was able to get on there, I guess it's the publicity you get from that show, because everyone loves that show. Who doesn't like that show? I don't watch it that much anymore just because I usually don't watch regular TV, but I always loved that show because it's like, you know, what kooky, crazy idea is someone to come up with now? And I remember seeing dude wipes. You know what dude wipes are?
Yeah, they're baby wipes for dudes.
Yeah. I remember seeing it on that. I said, that's got to be the stupidest idea of all time. I said, these guys will never go for it. And they were making fun of it at first. And then someone, I forget which shark.
They destroy your plumbing, Dave.
Yeah. And supposedly they're flushable, but I don't know.
They're not. Did you Google dude wipes Thames River, Britain?
Oh, really?
There's like a mountain of them that they not only did they. I'm serious.
I don't know who would flush a baby wipe down the toilet bowl. It's just you just know
tenants.
not to do
Tenants do, Dave. Tenants.
Because I don't care.
So I saw the dude wipes at the supermarket at the Price Club where I go to, Sam's Club. So I bought some of them, and I actually like them because they smell good. They have like a fresh like eucalyptus smell to them, and so I can't believe it. But sometimes you don't even know what's going to catch. And then I've seen good ideas on Shark Tank. I never saw them in the store ever. So
Yeah, Dave.
I don't know.
River Thames. That's how you say mounds of wet wipes reshaping the waterway.
I think they're talking about baby wipes in general.
It's an article on the BBC.
Supposedly, the dude wipes, though, are made to be flushed in certain circumstances. Although, when I was in Brazil, I don't know if you ever experienced this. I was in like a rural area in Brazil, and they don't flush anything there. You have to wipe your butt, and you put it in the toilet, and you put it in the garbage pail. Did you know that?
That's so disgusting.
Yeah.
I hear that. Oh.
The flies are all over there because you're basically putting shit in the toilet, in the garbage pail, and you have to hope that you empty the garbage. So I was staying in this little this little hostel someplace in Abajana, Brazil. And so every time I do it, I was emptying the garbage like 40 times a day because I couldn't take the fact that there was, the toilet paper was in the garbage pail. I was like Lee Priest cleaning the litter box in his house. 40 times a day he cleans the cat litter box.
Check your email, Dave. You can see the article. You'll love it.
Oh, okay.
Because you think I made it up.
No, I don't think you made it up. I believe it. People don't. It's stupid. Remember when you had a boat, Chris?
Yeah.
You remember the toilet paper that you have to use for the boat?
Yeah, you'd grind it. It would just like grind up, and you would do bacteria. You'd put it like a bacteria killer.
It fell apart. I don't know why all toilet paper isn't made like that. That just makes sense. So it would be much safer.
Yeah, you go to the boat shop back then, like when I had the boat 20 years ago. You like a roll of toilet paper was like $4.99.
Yeah,
I used to drive by where Patrick Bet David's house is all the time.
Oh, really? Where it is now? Yeah, probably wasn't that nice back then.
No, it was beautiful then. It's always.
Oh, it was.
That area's always been insane.
Well, you said Patrick Bet David's house is the most expensive one, right in there?
No, there's all kinds. He's don't let him.
When he bought the house, it was the most expensive one. He said there's one more new one that's not as big a property. It's more. Yeah.
You know what? No degrees of separation. He bought the house for $25 million.
Right.
And Jack Owack bought a house, 3 miles from him on the beach for $40 million.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So Jack went up them.
Is that considered that same neighborhood though?
Well, it's Fort Lauderdale. How big is Fort
Lauderdale? But doesn't it have a name that
no,
that
I
area?
I don't know that. I forget the name. I just know like Wayne who's younger, from CarMax, and he owned the one of the the trash company, the National Trash Company, and something else. He had the craziest house on the New River, on the mouth of the New River. I'm sure that's where his house is. But those houses, when you drive your boat down the New River and around the New River, just they're a dime a dozen.
Right.
Oh.
I wanted to show you. Jerry Scalise posted on his Instagram. I don't know if you saw it. He posted a cover from a magazine that was in Mexico.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it existed. Sorry, I'm going to pull it up. Hold on. Great shot.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, from the 1987 Mr. Universe that he won.
Yeah.
And can you name that female bodybuilder on the cover?
Of course, Diana Dennis.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It's a great cover shot. From 1987. I wonder if Bob took that picture.
Of course.
You think he did?
Most likely.
It looks like a stage shot, right?
Yeah. He took it of her, probably Ralph DeHaan or something, took the one of Diana Dennis.
Probably. Oh, that's funny.
When I was younger, my dad actually went to, I don't know if it was like at a garage sale or what, but he brought me all these bodybuilding magazines. Like I'm talking like a garbage bag full of them. And they're all ones from the 90s. And I remember, I think it was one of Jay's first covers or his first cover. And I went through them all so much, but I moved to house so many times when I was younger. It was like, you try to take that motto, like, nah, you don't need it. You know, you don't need that. Or how am I ever going to read these? And now I'm like, I regret it so much. You know, some of those covers, like people's first covers and all those ones from, and they were in like pristine condition too. So it's like, there's probably 200 of them.
We probably have to find, Chris, when I open up the Bodybuilding Hall of Fame at some point in the future, I'm going to have to find all these covers. Someone has to have them somewhere.
You know who has them?
Who
has the library of libraries of bodybuilding magazines is
Irv Gelb?
No, Caesar, the guy from Muscle Time.
Oh, he still has all that stuff?
He has like every magazine from.
Is he still alive though?
Huh?
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Oh.
The guy who used to on Muscle Time.
How young could he be?
He's got to be like, 60. 50.
That's not that young, Chris.
Yeah, but he looks young. You know what I mean?
Well, then that's all that matters.
How old are you, Xavier?
I'm 34. 34?
He doesn't even remember.
Is desktop bodybuilding your like full-time job?
He's that and a little bit of coaching and things like that as well. But yeah, for the most part, desktop bodybuilding. Yeah.
So what do you do? It's desktop bodybuilding.
Yep, correct.
And you live off that.
For the most part, yeah. I do a little bit of like posing coaching and things like that. So I used to do that a lot more when I lived in Perth and I had more connections. So I had people come to me and I wasn't even having to advertise it. And now it's like you go move somewhere else and it's like you got to pick up a whole new clientele.
Who's your main advertiser for desktop?
Muscle Tech.
Muscle Tech sponsors you too?
Yeah,
that's good. Excellent. All right, so we got to address.
It's a very catchy name. I'm surprised like Bleckman hasn't like trademarked it already, right?
He's too busy paying off the debt on his other title, Chris. you know the one I'm talking about. Anyway, let's talk about the Arnold Classic, because last week when we were discussing the Arnold Classic and I asked you just off the cuff about Andrew Jack, you're like, oh, he's doing good, and then we found out that he dropped out of the show. You want to give us any insight into that?
No, I mean, you had asked me, and he had.
You didn't even know yet, right?
No, he told me right after the show.
Yeah.
But I think it was he only started his prep on the 1st of January, so we're only at that time like 14 days in.
No, I remember. I was like shocked when you told me that.
And then after the show, he had texted me, I'm not doing it. And then, just to put it out there, he was not contractually obligated to do the show.
Right. So, I knew there was a little bit of drama with the whole thing, right? With him dropping.
No, there wasn't much drama. I mean, only drama with people who would like, telling you're doing the show when you're not contractually obligated to do the show.
Right.
No, there's contracts for a reason.
Did he feel like he was like maybe peer pressured into it? Like
No, I did not talk to him about that.
Oh.
He just told me. I always tell you, Andrew's black and white. It's like I'm not doing the show. I'm not doing the UK show. And what Andrew says is, he don't change his mind. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
In other words, it's and he don't make mistakes.
No.
So it's not like one of these things like, no, you have to do the show. You're John Hancock is on the contract.
Well, that takes that takes the competition down a whole notch. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Before I forget, I want to thank Jim Manion for lunch. Mel and I went there on Friday, and we had lunch in Naples with Jim Manion. He treated us at the Capitol Grill to a very, very, very nice lunch.
I have to say, and I'll ask Xavier, he looks the youngest of the three there.
I told him, I said, Jim, I think you're healthier than Mel and I. Mel's got.
Did you tell him that? I see.
I did because Mel's got the stents in his heart. I had the aorta repair. We're talking about all these like surgeries. Jim has no surgeries. There's nothing wrong with him. He doesn't have high blood pressure. He's going to be 80 next month on the same day as me. We have the same birthday, so we share that. And he looks tremendous. He has a full head of hair. I mean, the guy's unbelievable. He really is.
Definitely. And Mel looks exactly the same too, because I hadn't seen Mel Chancey in a while.
Mel takes very good care of himself too.
Yeah, his skin looks pretty good. Like, I don't know, how old's Mel?
Mel's like 54. He's a year younger than me.
Yeah,
He looks great. He's got he's got good Italian genetics, Mel. But Jim is unbelievable, and I guarantee you, I don't want to jinx him. I know he listens to the show.
Yeah, don't jinx him. Don't stop there, Dave. Don't jinx him.
He's going to live past 100. I'm telling you. And he'll work to the day he dies. I know he keeps saying, I should retire. I said, what are you going to do if you retire? Yeah, he's so sharp mentally, too. No decline whatsoever. You would never know that no one believes that he's going to be 80 years old. He's unbelievable, the guy. So thank you for the lunch. He almost bought me that Bentley behind us. He was saying, "Oh, it's a nice."
I was about to say about the Bentley.
Yeah, I said, Jim, you want to? How about for our birthday next month? You buy the car, and then I'll take it 1 month. You take it 1 month.
Xavier, why don't you get it, Xavier? You can put desktop bodybuilding on one side, and muscle tech on the other.
Yeah,
that wouldn't wreck it or anything. I actually in Tasmania. I don't know. You guys probably haven't seen it, but the owner of a gym down here called Extreme Physique, Wayne Howlett, he's like, him and his brother are big into powerlifting, and they're extremely strong. Like what Wayne got into, he knew one of the Russian powerlifters and was over in Russia a fair bit, and he's having photos with like bears in the wild, and I'm like, I don't even know how this works without them tearing you apart, but they're sitting back to back and they're out in like the bushes. I'm like, how does this work?
Yeah.
But anyway,
who's the first person to say, I'm going to wrestle a bear,
Yeah, and they're giving high fives. I'm like, is this bear tranquilized, or are they fed it, or I don't understand. But the stories that he had, I don't know what old American muscle car it was, but it was something you could tell was quite expensive, restored, beautiful car. It was orange. And he had Ronnie Coleman muraled on the bonnet of the car. I mean, huge, like massive. And when Ronnie came down to Tasmania, he signed it and everything. But
that's great.
Some people were like, I don't know if I'd put Ronnie Coleman on the front of this $100,000 car. But he's obviously such a fan of Ronnie that he got that. But I'll try to find a photo and send it to you guys because it's pretty.
Lee, I think Lee's insulted that he didn't ask him to sign the car too, because Lee's a
Lee knows Wayne. He actually does. So he got Lee actually down to Tasmania when I was 16 years old, I think it was, or I was 15. Wow. And I remember going to a Lee Priest seminar, and as soon as Lee started saying what he took, everyone's notepads just went like this. I take some Deca and some test, and I'd use probably about 400 milligrams.
Take 50 milligrams of Deca a month.
Yeah.
1 Anavar every third day.
I'd probably miss a few shots, but
my testosterone shots. Yeah, exactly. Chris, I actually did a seminar also in Tasmania. You can add me to the list. Xavier got us.
That was at Wayne Hallett's gym. That was at the guy's gym.
That was Wayne's gym. Okay,
that was Wayne's gym. Yeah,
it's a very hardcore place, Chris. Very, very hardcore. I had traveled 36 hours, and we went straight there.
Yeah, I remember when you went there.
And then we stayed over in Xavier's house overnight. So I actually have been to Xavier's house.
That was pre desktop bodybuilding or post?
Oh yeah, way pre.
Yeah.
Xavier was just getting into it.
Yeah. Well, that was awesome.
Were you 19?
Yeah, I was young.
Yeah, you were young.
I would have been 20 or 20.
He was very shy and very quiet too. Very, very quiet back then. Now he's not.
And you were asking me all these questions about Tasmania, and I had no idea. And you're like, you don't know much about Tasmania for someone who lives there. And I was like, I'm young. I don't know much history yet. I was very shy then.
Yeah. But Tasmania was beautiful. I got to tell you. Is that bulk supplements still there?
They're huge now. Yeah.
Is that the same bulk supplements I see on Amazon here in the United States?
I think there's maybe another one, but they're probably the biggest seller of supplements in Australia, I reckon now. They're like, you saw the warehouse then, it's like exponentially. Well, I haven't been down there, but the employees, there's so many more. And there's the arachidonic acid.
Yeah, he takes me to this warehouse. It's like, first of all, Tasmania is very beautiful, all country-ish, and everything. Takes me to this warehouse. We're going down these like roads. It was like, I'm like, where the hell is he taking? I thought you were taking us to like shoot us in an open field.
I'm quiet, but
and it's just like this metal building there, and I'm like, what the heck is this? It didn't look like anything. We walk in there, and it was so clean. I've never seen anything so clean. And there were just assembly lines set up everywhere, just with all the packaging. And they sell bulk supplements. You could buy creatine by the pound, and all the different glutamine, every amino acid separately. Everything is just bulk. And I said it sounds brilliant, and Xavier was telling me they're huge, and now they're still.
Romano was telling me the same thing about the bulk anabolic placed on him.
China.
Dave, I remember when you found that they were selling arachidonic acid.
Oh yeah,
and Aaron Singman was there too, and you're going, arachidonic acid. And I was wetting myself laughing.
I had to do my little Bleckman impression, Chris. You know that. All right, back to the Arnold Classic. All right, so we lost Andrew Jack. Now I'm hearing rumors, though, Chris, that Hadi Chupin might not get a visa. Have you heard that, Xavier?
No, where'd you hear that? Xavier was all over something like that.
I don't want to say who.
Yeah, I perked up when I heard that.
I hope I'm wrong. It was a good source, though.
I hope not.
Who's the source? Give up your source.
No, I'm not giving myself. You know what? Someone just wrote in the comments, and this is really weird. I have to comment on this. They heard that there's a Fall Guy movie coming out. I was just talking about the Fall Guy the other day. Remember with Lee Majors? Was I talking about that with you, Chris?
No, you said I got to see it.
Oh, you never saw Fall Guy with Lee Majors?
No, 4 kids. Dave. No life. You got
it was in the '70s when we were kids. It was on TV.
We didn't have cable TV when.
I was talking about it with someone, I don't know, because I said I loved Heather Thomas, the actress, who was in there, and so I think someone said they're coming out in a movie. I hope they do. That would be great. Lee Majors has got to be 100 years old though now, probably.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's 88. I don't remember who I must have been talking about it with Romano and
8 years old. Put him up. Put a screenshot. Him versus.
All right, let me pull up Lee Majors.
He probably looks 88. Manion looks 57.
He doesn't. He looks great, actually.
Huh?
He looks great for his age.
Oh, maybe Jim can invite him to the Olympia then.
he can hold his own with Jim for the way he looks. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but he's got he's half bionic, so
yeah. I might be close to $6 million by now. My body. So.
The insurance
I just can't do. I don't have special abilities like he does, though. Or did. There he is.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. He looks pretty good, actually.
He's 88. I'm for 88. He looks great.
88, he looks very good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, very.
Yeah, so
I feel like people are not looking as old anymore.
He's got a little Pecker look to him, right? David Pecker. Pecker used to wear those blazers like that.
He looks like Ed Connors, right? A little bit.
No.
There we go. Getting back. So if Hadi Chopin can't make it to the Arnold, that would be horrendous. I mean, for the lineup. I mean, really, we were billing this as like an Olympia lineup. It was, Samson Dauda, Hadi Chupin, and then we had, Andrew. I thought we were going to have like an incredible battle. Now we're down 1, and we could be down 2 if Hadi doesn't get his season. Now, what I don't understand is he's been to the Olympia the past 3 years now, 2 years. Why all of a sudden would he have? Why?
Since 18, 19.
So why would he have a problem making it to the Arnold? I don't get it.
Because because maybe you can only go. You only get so many exemptions.
I mean, he's a professional athlete. I mean, you would think he would get some kind of like special privileges.
Well, you would think so.
Once you're cleared to come to the United States, they obviously did a background search on him. The guy obviously has nothing, nothing in his background. Bless you. So you would think that they cleared him once. I mean, what at this point, what's the big deal?
Played him every year since 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's weird. But I'm also hearing as well that Rubio still doesn't have his visa approved, and he might be out too. So you got Andrew, Rubio, Hadi. And then I think that the guy that won the Arnold last year, I think he's out of it too. So you got four
Samson won the Arnold last year.
The Arnold Amateur. Sorry, the Arnold Amateur.
Okay.
But Bose or
that guy. Yeah, what was his name again? Hold on, let me look. I had the list here. Hold on.
I just called him Bose, which I know is completely wrong.
Romenko Bose. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You are right. It's Bose. I don't know if that's pronounced Bose or Bose.
Xavier, about the visa with Hadi and Rubio.
I haven't heard too much about it apart from people I heard on Fuad's podcast, they said they've heard from people, and then I had someone else message me and said, I heard this, and so you sort of just hear these rumblings.
Like Fuad's podcast is like or even this podcast, like unless you hear it from someone Dave,
the
you have a
horse's
good
mouth.
source other than Fuad?
Lee Priest was named after Lee Majors, he said. That's a little. Bet you didn't know that, Chris Aceto.
No, I didn't know that he was.
No, I heard, Chris. I heard the same thing, that Rubio is having trouble getting a visa. I think that a lot of these guys committed to doing it because I think the Arnold people contacted them and they wanted to have a really good lineup, which is a smart marketing move on their part. And I think a lot of the guys, look, if someone calls you and says, we really want you in the lineup, we've been reading about you and the fans want to see you. A lot of times bodybuilders are people pleasers. They have trouble saying no. And sometimes they commit, maybe like Andrew did when he really wasn't really up for it. And then other people commit and they don't know if they could really get a visa because they never tried. Rubio, I don't think Rubio's been in the United States, has he?
No, I don't
Not that I know of.
No, we
I
would have.
don't remember seeing him here.
We would have. Cormier would have told us. Desktop Bodybuilding would have definitely reported on that.
Well, we'll have to get Cormier on next week and find out what's going on.
Text Cormier.
Well, I just heard a podcast, actually. I know this is secondhand, but they were talking about Rubio and someone said, oh, Chris was on there and someone said, oh, I'm going to say that he's probably out. That's what I've heard. I think Ron Harris actually said it. And then Chris said nothing. I mean, he didn't say, no, he's in it, or he didn't
he
confirm
doesn't
either
want to
way.
give information that he doesn't know about yet.
True,
I know that Cormier told us the plan originally was to do the New York Pro.
Yeah, true.
So
on this show. But Dave, Dave, you hit the nail on the head because if if you're a bodybuilder and someone from Arnold's office or whatever it is calls you up, you probably say, yeah, I'll do it,
Right.
But I mean, there's obviously giant steps you have to take when you're not living in the United States.
Yeah.
To be able to get the visa to get here.
Right. It's not so easy sometimes. And you know what? If you wait till the last minute, ask Nathan Diasha how many times he got denied, because of that. So I think
I know somebody, Dave, who didn't have a visa and competed and snuck in to a contest. I will tell you that story off air.
Oh, okay, all right.
Desktop Bodybuilding probably, if he broke that story, could get another 50,000 subscribers.
I'll secretly record
Yeah. I was so excited about this Arnold. That's why I said I'm going to cover it. And I'm getting a little worried now because let's say Rubio doesn't make it. Let's hope for the best with Hadi, but I mean Hadi's not a guarantee. I mean that now we're going to go down to the next tier, so to speak. You got the Jonathan Della Roses, you got Horse MD, you got Rafael Brandeo in that lineup, Mo Shaban. I mean there are good guys there, but they're not Antoine Vaillant. They're not at that level that we were expecting to see. So it might actually be a closer show. The problem is if Hadi doesn't show up because he can't get a visa, and then Andrew's not in the lineup, I think it's a cakewalk for Samson, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah. I think pay whatever Nick Walker wants to get him in that lineup because, have you seen his latest update photo? I mean,
he looks like he's ready to compete. You're right.
How bad can his calf and hamstring be now? Because he looks literally, a week or two out, right. Just bigger.
You're right.
I sent him a message and I said, Nick, is this recent? Because he looked in too good a condition. I'm like, the way the shoulder cuts into the arm, I'm like, that looks like contest sort of shape. Right. And he's just like, I wouldn't post something old. And I was like, fair enough. I'm like, it's just wasn't making sense to me.
So what, Chris Aceto, tell me, why would a Nick Walker not do this show, especially now if there's
because he wants to be Mr. Olympia and wants to. That's the only reason. That's just.
Well, he never got to step on that Olympia stage. I have to believe he's, got some unfinished business.
He either one that he wants to be Mr. Olympia because or two, in your mind, that I haven't seen pictures of him, but Xavier says he looks fantastic. There's a picture, but the training might not be where he thinks it is. To be able to present your best, even though it might be really impressive, when you're in it to win it.
300,000 reasons to do it.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're really hardcore and you feel like, okay, when I'm doing legs, I'm really not doing it like I've been able to do it 100%, you know, you don't want to put up like a 97% or 93% of your best, because you just want to be your best.
Unless that time off actually served him well. You know?
It's either one of two things: wants to be Mr. Olympia and screw the Arnold, or, you know, I haven't been able to put the training behind, you know, in that makes me feel good about myself, so I'm just going to skip it.
Or we've seen Nick do things at the last minute.
Or he can't get a visa out of wherever he lives.
Out of Vegas.
You know, he's the only guy I know that would be the kind of guy, if 6 weeks out, that would jump in the show. I don't think any other guy would do it. He is the kind of guy that would say, you know what, I'm going to call these guys up and tell them I'm going to do it. And the Arnold people would eat that up. They would love it, you know. And don't be surprised if he jumps in at the last minute. It's like, don't be surprised if Biden doesn't make it and Gavin Newsom jumps in as the candidate. Don't be surprised if Nick Walker doesn't jump into that Arnold Classic. I'm telling you, especially if it's confirmed that Hottie can't make it and it's just Samson, you know, there that he's got to beat. I can see that happening. You know, I could definitely see it happening.
Because unless he gets a special invite, he's got to qualify regardless for that.
For the Olympia, that's true. That's right.
He didn't obviously compete last year. So, I mean, as much as I love Nick, I don't think, I mean, when you say deserves a special invite, he's the caliber of who he is. You might say he deserves a special invite, but I mean, he was injured. He might not have placed top 3 anyway, and then he gets passed to the next one. So I think he should have to qualify. And the only thing is, if he does the Arnold, gets second to Samson goes and does the Arnold UK, then it's like that's 2 weeks later. And then when's the next show? Is that Fuad's show? I just have a weird feeling that Nick isn't probably going to do Fuad's show. No. And then when's the next show? You know, is it 6-8 weeks after the Arnold? I don't know, but that would be painful if. He'd have to almost think that he's a sure thing to win the Arnold. I think.
Nick, you know what? Nick is very confident in himself. If he goes into the Arnold, he's going to believe that he can win. He's not going to be thinking contingency plans. He's going in. I'm going to win the Arnold, and I'm not doing any other shows. I'm done till the Olympia, and then I'm just going to relax. It would serve 2 purposes. Maybe 3 purposes. He'd win a lot of money. Number one, that's great. He'd get redemption for not being able to do the Olympia because he hurt himself. And he'd get the qualification, like you said, out of the way. And then he has the rest of the year to kind of relax a little bit. So,
yeah.
I hope.
Sure. Hey, Chris. Sorry, you go, Dave.
You good.
Chris, I was just going to say, I was thinking about this the other day and I actually mentioned it in a video. Andrew Jacked, he's done, I think it's 6 contest preps in the space of 2 years, from when he turned pro at the Arnold Classic to then he did the Texas Pro, then he did Did he then do the Olympia? And then the next year he did the Texas, then he did the Arnold UK, and then he did the Olympia, which was obviously, whichever way it was. I worked out he did 6 contest preps. In 1 year, or in 2 years, 6 contest preps. And then Milos actually said on the latest Menace podcast that he actually said, Andrew's competed too much. And I'm like, I never thought I'd hear that out of Milos's mouth. Like, he said, he needs a break. So I was like, okay, if Milos is saying you need a rest, Andrew, you probably need a rest.
I think Samson, if anything, competed too much, to be honest with you. I don't know about Andrew. Samson did every show after the Olympia this past year, and now he's doing the Arnold.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy for a top guy.
Chris? What's that?
Did you hear the question? He asked you a question.
No, there was a long. It was Australia.
No, I didn't ask a question.
I think that Andrews competed too much, like Milo said. I said I think Samson's.
You know what? I think that, you know what, you if you look at objectively where Andrew came from, 2000, the change from 2022 Olympia. In 7 weeks, he went into the Arnold mega diced. And then he didn't really have a lot of time off, you know, Texas, and, you know, he made great jump there. And I think at the Olympia, his body was tired. And frankly, there was some not travel issues, but, you know, he could have been better at the Olympia. But having said all that, or if you go back to when he won the Arnold, I mean, even when he won the Arnold amateur for God's sakes, to the Texas Pro of the year, he won it, and then that Olympia. I mean, he's been on this trajectory of like massive improvements, whether it be size or conditioning size. So sometimes you have to hit, as Hillary Clinton would say, the reset button. You have to take a break to give your body the reserves it needs to, go back. It's like the McDonald stock. You know what I mean? It doesn't go straight up. It goes up and then down and then up and down. And, it has to go down before it can go back up. It doesn't go up all the time. So I think a break is important, and, rest is important. But having said all that, it's amazing that Samson Dauda is just, a wrecking machine wrecking ball in terms of number of shows that he's done in the last, really, you can go back to, frankly, when Rafael Brandao beat him in Romania, one of those shows. And he was just getting bigger at those shows. But he's just done so many shows since then, and he's continuously gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, each show. And, we're waiting for him to burn out, but I don't see that on the horizon. You know what I mean? I don't follow too many people's update pictures, but RX Muscle just posted an update of him, I think, today.
Yeah.
And, he looked really impressive. Really impressive.
Chris, he's like a Tony Freeman. He has like that kind of physique that always like looks really good, like in the off season, like he has like really nice flow to his body. And so like, no matter what, he always has a good look in the off season. The question is he looks leaner here almost than he does on stage.
He looks leaner here than he did at the Olympia.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Dare I say that? But because I think he's fuller here,
No, he's leaner. He's better here than he was on the stage at the Olympia, without a doubt.
And that might be why he keeps, being able to compete, Chris, because he hasn't really peaked yet perfectly. And once you peak, you kind of need to take that break. So I think if he hits it here at the Arnold, to take the rest of the year off would probably be just what the doctor ordered at that point,
Yeah, I agree with your assessment completely. Once, when you're really bone to the bone peeled, take cardio out of the equation. But for a lot of people, when you're bone to the bone peeled, after that, you need a break. You just can't, you know what I mean? You just can't hold on. Your body won't hold.
Right.
And Chris,
I don't think he's been peeled. He's looked tremendous, outstanding from top to bottom. But I don't think there's much argument that he hasn't been like lights out condition. So there's always some type of reserve. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there's like the backstory is that even when there's reserve to the muscle, even if you've dieted hard, you're still not burnt out.
Right.
Still more gas in the tank, whereas if we saw him, like to the bone, after that, it's like, okay, I'm fried. I can't go another show, 3 weeks after this.
Even Ronnie had trouble. Remember when he did the Arnold and he won that? He looked great at that. What was it? The 22 Arnold?
01.
Oh, yeah, 01 Arnold. And then he came back for the Olympia that year. He had a lot of problems. He had trouble doing the 2 shows in the year, and he never did that again after that.
The 2 shows in the year. We're talking. Samson's done
like 6
shows in 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Well, that's why I thought it was funny that Milos was saying that Andrew competed too much when Samson's competed almost as many times as Milos used to compete back in the day.
Yeah.
But like you said, I don't think Samson ever got to that, 0%
Yeah,
body fat.
There's still a lot to go there. That's why I said we broke the bank with Andrew at the Arnold.
Yes.
And then even at the Texas, he was close to bone broken down.
Great.
Too, you know what I mean?
Great that show.
And it was, you know what I mean?
He peaked for that show.
Yeah, he peaked. Those are 2 peaks. Those are like peak, and by the definition of peak, if you look at a mountain on a cartoon, there at the peak there is only one spot. When you fall off that peak, either way, it's
you're less than your best. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because Andrew was his best at the Arnold in both his first 2 pro years. Like, not the Arnold, sorry, the Texas Pro. He looked, the best when he first came up against, Martin Fitzwater, Steve Kuklo, and all the Quentin Araya and all those guys. I was like, at first I was like, well, Andrew's huge and massive on stage. And then I went pose by pose, and you can break it down and you can sort of break Andrew apart, but as much you could more back then, but now like he's got, more back, he's got more of the leg from the side and stuff like that. And it's the Texas Pro this past year just gone, I thought was his best all-time package easily.
There's also something to say about the fact that, no one wants to diet through the holidays, okay? It sucks having to diet through Christmas and New Year's. And if you really want to be your best at that, Arnold, you got to do it. And some people they go to their families, they lose focus, and so not everyone is a machine, that can diet, and never, ever worry about what time of year it is. And I know Andrew's a big family guy. He goes back to Nigeria to his family. And so, it's just not a convenient time of year for Andrew to peak, for the Arnold. So.
We need you guys out there like recruiting all the Nigerian talent out there, because like we have Nigerians that are doing well.
Chris and I know some people that do that, right, Chris? They get the talent.
Soccer.
But is George Farrow over there?
I'm sure George probably makes yearly trips there looking for a talent. And
my brother.
He goes there harvesting Manuka honey, I think, from the bee's nest. So, well, Xavier, I want to thank you for stopping by today and joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Oh, thanks for having me on. It's awesome. Yeah, it's I was thinking about it before, and I saw a clip come up. I don't know if it's on YouTube or whatever, and it was you, Chris Aceto, with Jay Cutler, and I don't know what year it was, but it was on a DVD that I saw of Jay's as one of his. Not his earliest DVD, but one of the early ones. And I think you had on I don't know if it's like an Olympia or a Muscle Tech jacket. And I heard you talking about it recently on one of the shows, which I found hilarious. And you saying that you still got it, which is amazing. Because this is like early 2000s. And I was watching this clip the other day, and I'm like, and to me, I was just thinking in bed, I'm like, I'm talking to Chris Aceto, who I was watching as a whatever teenage kid in Tasmania. Now I'm on a show with, I was always watching Dave's show, and then, had Dave staying at my house, and I'm like, how funny is it? Like, you'd never think that, you would talk to these people at all, full stop.
Right.
And then, I interviewed Jay one time. I'm like, Jay was my idol, like I remember emailing him and asking his stupidest questions. Should I drink low fat or high fat milk? And he's like, low fat's fine. And I'm like, Jay Cutler, he used his fingers to email me, like.
I feel the same way, Xavier, when I talk to Lou Ferrigno, because when I was growing up, I was watching The Incredible Hulk, and I can't believe that I can, we text each other and we call each other all the time. It's amazing, same feeling.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Chris, I'd love to have you on my channel one time.
Chris isn't like that with anyone, though. He was 19 years old and he was writing diets for top bodybuilders,
Yeah, hanging out with Joe Weider and like the godfather of bodybuilding.
He worked with Joe Weider at 19. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining us live. Give us your feedback as to who you think will win the Arnold Classic and who might even be at the Arnold Classic. Will Nick Walker make a surprise appearance at the Arnold Classic and compete or not? I think there's a good possibility we might see him. We'll have
Xavier, I heard through the same person who said Hadi might not get a visa that Kai might jump in the show.
Oh, really? Rumor.
That's a million.
I've given up on Kai.
Arnold said he won't.
I've given up on Kai too.
He's afraid that Arnold's going to ask him to make them pull a front double bicep with the vacuum.
They're making it a mandatory post. Kai drop out of the show again, right? Yeah. All right. Well, as we say every week here at Heavy Muscle Radio, with Heavy Muscle Radio,
the truth hurts. They don't know it in Australia.
I know. I thought Xavier was going to do it for me. Yeah, John Hansen's the best one. He's always right on the ball with that one. We'll see you next week.
We can run it again.
All right, let's try it again. With Heavy Muscle Radio,
the truth hurts.
Try to use my Australian accent.